y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today is a little bit different of a video, but I'm really excited about it. So if you're not following me over on Instagram at Vanessa Adventures, I have announced that I am starting a book club. Starting today is the first month that we are going to be reading together. And it's all gonna live on Instagram. So if you're not following me, you should if you wanna get involved. So how this is gonna work, just kind of diving in already. At the beginning of each month, I will announce the book that you guys have chosen, but how we get there is towards the end of each month, like middle to end of each month, I will post on my stories and say like, what are your recommendations for next month? And I will take those recommendations, kind of find 4 like top picks, and then from there, I will post some stories on for you guys to vote on 4 of the top those 4 top books and which ones you guys want to read. And then by the end of the month, I will announce what we'll be reading for the next month. And throughout that month, as we're reading this book, I'll be sharing on my Instagram stories my thoughts and feelings on where I'm at in the book, and I'll ask you guys questions and how you guys feel, and just kind of really get a conversation going about different books. And really kind of the drive of starting this really came from me constantly reading. I read a lot of books. Like I have easily this many books that I pretty much read at a time. I don't know, I'm kind of a serial reader that I just kind of constantly, I get in a routine and I read and read and read and read and read, and then I kind of get sick of it for a while. But lately, as I've gotten older, I've just changed genres. And just find new genres and just like read those genres until I kind of get sick of it, and then I change until I may find a new book that I'm really passionate about in that old genre. So it kind of goes around and around. So right now I'm back into my fiction phase. I'm still reading like nonfiction biographies, but not as many business books because I was reading business books like crazy. But all that being said, it inspired me to kind of make this like a community thing. I used to be a part of Battle of the Books as a kid, and I love talking about the books that we read. I never thought that I would, but I think that was so fun. And just getting to come as a community, just understanding where people thought about different parts of the book. Like I've been loving watching different people's takes on like Harry Potter lore and stuff like that. Like I just think it's so interesting and fascinating, and I love hearing people's different opinions and ideas. So I thought, why not start like a virtual book club, and you can jump in and jump out on, like if the book we're reading is not something that you're interested in that month, you don't have to read it, that's totally fine. Then suggest something the next month, and we'll possibly vote on it. Like it is very much on how you guys want to do it. And I just thought, since I'm already on Instagram, it would be a really good place to kind of host it and just kind of make it not like a passive experience. But I've noticed like any different clubs and different things can be hard to jump into, especially virtually. And this way I can kind of facilitate different discussions and topics, and you can feel as open as you want to share your thoughts and opinions. And I hope you guys do share your thoughts and opinions on it. And this could be a way for you guys to just kind of start like talking about it and connecting again. And I just think that would be a really cool way and idea. So the first book we are reading is this book right here. This is what you guys have voted on, and I'm really excited about it. I already snagged it from my local library, so I'll be picking that up this week. So I'm very excited, and I hope you guys will come along and read this book and drop into the chat and talk about all the different things and feelings that you are feeling during this. So that's kind of the idea of the book club. So if you guys have any questions or are interested, leave them down below, and make sure you go follow me on Instagram about it. But I did kind of want to briefly touch on the books I am currently reading right now. So I have read a lot lately, but I've gone through a lot of books lately. So I was in a couple of different books, and I mean, sometimes you like start books and then you kind of lose interest. So two that I recently I would say within the past month or so that I've finished was both by Jojo Moyes. So this one is the Me Before You. There was definitely a movie on it, and it's very, very good. I really, really enjoyed it. And then I have another one of hers. I also have a third book of hers that I haven't read yet, but I have the Paris for One and Other Stories. It is so good. I kind of wish she went in deeper with the story of Paris for One because I feel like it could have gone more places, but I did really enjoy these mini stories and the Paris for One story. That was really, really cute. Right now I'm reading a couple different books, but one that I'm reading is Something Borrowed by Emily Griffin. It's one that my mom sent me, or my mom sent along with me when I was home for my sister's wedding. She sent me home with a lot, and it's definitely very fitting for like kind of a wedding style book that since I was in my sister's wedding and I have another wedding coming up soon, very fitting story to read. But this story is very interesting, kind of about like a complicated love-hate relation, or love-hate friendship. So if you've ever been in one of those situations, definitely very interesting. I'm only 23 pages in and I'm already very hooked. The one I just got from the library is So You Want to Talk About Race. I've been wanting to read this book so bad. It's not a big read, but I can already tell like it's going to be a really good book, an eye-opening book for me. Highly, highly recommend if you are someone that would like to read this. I saw it was in the new release section of my library because I recently got a library card. I've lived here for 2 years and it took me that long. So definitely reading that as well. Eventually, I'm gonna start my new John Green book. I touched on John Green in one of my recent posts and how much I love him. I don't know about you guys, but anyway, I don't know if you guys have this for authors, but there's a couple of authors that I tend to collect all of their books and or like a series, and I like collect it and keep it forever. John Green is one of those authors that I literally will buy every single one of his books, and like I don't need to know the story, I just know it'll be good. I read Abundance of Catherines when I was in Battle of the Books as an 8th grader. Fell in love immediately. Read Paper Towns, like went and got Paper Towns, read Paper Towns. Trying to think what the next one was. Oh, Fault in Our Stars, read that. The one that like I wasn't so sure on was Will Grayson, and because I think I didn't really have like any background on it. And then I read it and literally fell in love. Listened to again the audiobook version. I love Will Grayson, and I heard it's gonna be being turned into a movie, so I'm very excited about that. So immediately when I saw that he had another book, Turtles All the Way Down, bought it without even reading like what happened, like what the book was about. Immediately bought it. It was amazing. Did the same for this one, and I'm sure it's still gonna be amazing. And I just love keeping all of his books because they're all very different from each other, which I think is very cool, and I love that. So John Green, ultimate favorite author ever. If I meet him one day, I think I will cry. A couple other books that I've either started or am looking to read soon. So I have You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I have read You Are a Badass General, and that one was a really good one to read. I do have it, and I think I'm gonna reread it eventually because I think that'll be a really good one to just kind of reread and kind of like pump yourself up type of book. This is a good one for kind of just helping managing your money and managing your mindset around money, and especially after COVID. I feel like this is a much needed read. I kind of started it, but I think I'm gonna restart it, and now that I'm kind of in a different place, to read it again or start it again. This one was also something I started, but I think I'll start it again. I don't know if you guys kind of have this, like sometimes I start books and I discovered that I'm not in the right mindset to read it, or I'm just like losing interest, but I know I want to read the book, but I just may not be in the place that I need to be to read it. I have that a lot with like business books, or just kind of like, not philosophical books, but books that kind of make you think a little bit and change your mindset. So this is one of them, The Power of Now. I've had this recommended to me time and time again. I have clearly started it because there's a sticky note in here, but I have not felt like I was in the place to, I've tried to read it like 3 or 4 times. And I think I'm finally at the point that I'll actually read it and engage with it. So that's another one. A couple of these I actually found at Goodwill. Goodwill is and thrift stores are a fantastic place to find books. And 2 that I found there, one is called Hungry, and the story is based on a world where food is illegal and craving can be a death sentence. So there's no more food, no need for food, as everyone takes medication to ward off hunger. So this can be very interesting. Another one is The Lovely Bones. I mean, everyone kind of has heard of it. I was curious about it, so I picked it up. And a lot of these books are just like, they're only a couple dollars at Goodwill. I used to be a part of Book of the Month, so this is one of the Book of the Month that I have not gotten to. It just became a lot. Book of the Month is really great, but it just became a lot to keep up with. So every time a new book would come, I wasn't necessarily ready for it. So it was definitely a lot for me to handle at the time. So this is The Astonishing Color of After. I'm really excited about this. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So that one is as well. I have a couple of others on my bookshelf. I kind of have a section of like books that I've yet to read, and then I have the rest of the books that I like to keep. And I've started going through my books and giving away ones if I'm like, you know what, I can't see myself rereading it, and let me find a good home for it and someone who may like it more. Now this video is kind of all over the place, but I kind of just wanted to chat with you guys and talk books because that is something I really enjoy, and I thought that starting this book club would be a really cool thing, especially since traveling is coming back. I tend to bring a lot of books when I travel because I just consume them while I'm on vacation. Sitting by the pool or just relaxing, like it just always seems to be inevitable for me. So I thought I would start this, like get people's getting people to start talking again and communicating and connecting with each other, getting exposed to all sorts of different types of books like other people like, as well as kind of give you a list of things to read and recommendations to read as you travel and as you start to go out into the world again. Kind of want to be that resource and have like a good list of books to read while you are on vacation or while you're traveling, because I know I constantly need that. I constantly need recommendations. Even though I have a ton of books, I always want more so that I can just have a never-ending supply of books and supply of recommendations. So definitely a little different than our normal content, but I really wanted to make this video and I was excited about it. So make sure you give this video a like if you like it, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I post a new video, which is every Thursday. Make sure you follow me at Vanessa Adventures on Instagram and on TikTok at Vanessa.adventures to follow along with more of my day-to-day adventures. And until next time, bye guys!